I think it's easier said than done, especially when people develop habits. Like you said, you're doing it for 3 months, drinking on the weekends. Like, how do you just say, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore? Because it can really become entrenched in your life where, your social circles, you drink with the same people, they're your friends, you see them all the time. So I don't know if you have any advice or experience, like how you kind of get away from that over time and develop more healthy habits and
100%.
make a
Um,
sustainable change.
yeah, so it's systems. So first off, obviously people say like bad friends can have bad influences, and not necessarily that your friends that drink are bad at all. They're just being kind of 18, 19-year-old kids. But you want to take yourself out of the situation. I mean, if you're in that situation every time, you're a lot more likely to then kind of join in, and it's hard not to. I mean, I've been in that situation. I kind of would try and get non-alcoholic drinks and like hide the fact it was non-alcoholic. So I just wanted to feel involved. So it is completely hard, but you've got to remove yourself from the situations that you think can put you like in the kind of in a vulnerable position. Discover the triggers. So you want to notice what triggers it. So is it maybe sometimes are you bored? Like when you're really bored, you're low on dopamine. So your brain kind of goes back to what it goes through all the things that it knows will give you dopamine. So then if it realizes if there's already a system in your brain to like set up in place where it knows if it gets alcohol, it's going to get X amount of dopamine. Then when you're really bored and you feel kind of really bad or low, your brain's going to go drink this, you'll feel better. And that happens a lot, and that's what gets a lot of people out. So you've got to kind of think in your routine. Let's say if you're working 9 to 5, you're occupied. There could be a Friday night where you realize all your friends are going out and you're staying inside. You're not going to feel great. So you've got to try to set something up. Maybe do something with your parents, with your girlfriend. Try to set up these like hobbies. Hobbies probably the best thing, like sports. Give yourself an end goal. I put something up where it's like just to try achieve a 10K run. So I was working towards that because my brain was focused on that. There was like nothing kind of going to get in my way. But there's a lot of statistics about how habits are formed and how they're destroyed. So I'm pretty sure it's been a while since I've gone back to these statistics, but it takes averagely 66 days to perform new behavioural patterns. And it's 20. I think it's 28 days to form a new habit, and it can take 66 days to remove those behavioural patterns.
Mhm.
So you've got to kind of think on the end goal as well. So having those days kind of in line, if you know that your habits or your addictions, they can be gone in 66 days because that's when kind of your brain molds through neuroplasticity. It literally changes shape. Then you've got something to aim for. So now you've got it's not going to be forever. You've got X amount of time where you can prep for, plan the schedule, locate the triggers, and that's probably what I'll do.
Yeah, and I don't know if you resonate with this at all, but like the way I like to think about it too is like it could take years, right? You mentioned months. So yeah, you're going to see some progress in months, but I think you may like fall off the wagon, but I think just moving in the right direction is what you want to shoot for, right? If you, let's just say you drink 5 days a week and you say, okay, I've gotten it down to only 2 days a week, and then eventually no days a week, and you make it whatever 3 weeks without drinking, and then you drink. I think it's important not to beat yourself up, right? Like all you do is just start from there, and then you just keep going. It's people say, "Oh, I drank, I failed." It's like you only failed if you fall completely back into the old habit, not the new habit. So I don't know if you use that at all when coaching people, and trying to develop new habits and overcoming anxiety.
100%, and I've got like some quite good advice for this, and it's what kind of I learned as well. There's a reason why. There's a part of you that wants to do whatever you're doing. So, say you've got an addiction, say you're addicted to alcohol, and then you're doing really well for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you give in. Like you said, you've not suddenly it's not ended. It's not like, oh god, I've given in again. It's over now. Like completely relapsed. There's part of you that wants or seeks alcohol. So I think the best thing to do is don't beat yourself up about it. Learn about yourself. Learn that part of you that wanted alcohol and learn why it wanted it. When you start looking into these reasons and looking into why you wanted it, you can start kind of discovering the trauma. And then, so instead of being that part about you, because that part of yourself is always there and you're just hating yourself. If you're saying, oh, why did I do that? It's just putting hate on yourself, which then will probably make you more likely to do it again. So you want to look at it in a positive view, kind of tend to it, give it some like motherly care. And then by looking at that, you can kind of find the reason why you went and opted for the alcohol again. And then just keep kind of reminding yourself, it's okay. Like if there was some traumatic experience that happened before that you're now free from, to remind yourself that you're free from that now. And kind of just, just get yourself out through love rather than hate. Because I don't think if you do it through the hate, it's going to be a really hard time.